Welcome back to the AI series. Today we are diving into making magic with AI in Canva. How to use Canva's built-in AI tools to create beautiful content quickly and easily. A big thank you to Sonoma Small Business Development Center and Solano Napa Small Business Development Center for making this possible. If you are not already an SBDC client, we'd love to help you one-on-one. You can sign up at norcalsbdc.org/join to get started. If this is your first time, welcome. You're in for a fast, practical session focused on your time, your budget, and your business needs. There's no PowerPoint. This is all live demos. The session goes till 12:30, and then I have an open Q&A from 12:30 to 1, so you can join that for open discussion and get further into Canva. And so if you drop your questions into chat as we go along, I will get to them at 12:30 so that we can move through this for people who need to leave at 12:30. I'm Kathy Ballack. I'm your regional AI specialist and lead business advisor specializing in marketing. Let's get into Canva. So today we're going to start with a quick tour of Canva. There we go. And as opposed to general purpose AI tools, which by that I mean like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, Canva is a tool with AI functionality. So there's some things that are AI in here, some things that are not, but it's a powerful tool that the AI only gives more of a boost. I'm logged into a pro version right now. Can everybody see this okay? Brianna, all good?
Yes, all good.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm logged into the, like I said, the paid version right now, and you'll see some features that are part of the pro plan, but even with the free account, you will get some great access to Canva functionality and some of the Canva's AI tools as well. Canva actually makes it easy to tell the difference between what's paid and pro, such as if you look here under brand on the left where my cursor is, you'll see that there is a crown icon, and that is the little icon that tells you this is a pro feature. So if you're using a free account, you'll be able to know what's available to you, what might require an upgrade. That said, it is arguably probably the most worthwhile marketing tool out there, I would say. So let's also look before we start into the Canva dashboard. Right now I'm at home, but you can click create here just to get started and create something new. You've got your projects, which are all the existing things that you have, and you can look at them through your folders, designs, brand templates, images, videos. You've got templates, which is just another way of creating. It's creating using existing templates that Canva has provided, and you can go again through what are you looking for here? What's the purpose? Brand, which is where the crown is, which is where it shows what what branded stuff there is. By the way, this little accordion up here opens up the other panel, and here is where to have the brand kit. So we have a brand kit here for SBDC, and this includes our logo, our color palette, and fonts. And then here is where Canva AI is. I will come back to that. Apps for any kind of integrations that you might have, and approvals is something for if you have more people on your team. So where AI lives, it's going to live a couple of places. It's going to live here under Canva AI. So if I'm on the main screen and I'm not already in a document, you're going to see it there. It's a little bit of a change from all the confusing features of the past. They used to have a whole bunch of different things that were very confusing. So now it all lives under this Canva AI and is integrated across everything. So you can use the Canva AI to create an image. So all these things you can see here, create an image, create code, write text. So you can start here, but you can also use it once you're in a document. I'm going to show you that today as well. So let's walk through what all of these things, what Canva AI can do. Today, I'm going to use SBDC as an example, and I'm going to create I'm creating currently a real event called the North Bay AI Power Day, which will be on September 24th. So we're going to have fun with that today. And let's get into the demos. For my first demo, I'm going to use this directly. So if you notice, I went under Canva AI and I'm directly here in Magic Design. So Magic Design is simply an all AI created document. For this, I'm going to start and pretend that I don't have an existing image. I don't have anything I want to use or any specific ideas. I just know what I want. And I'm going to put in a prompt. My prompt here is create a Facebook post announcing the North Bay AI Power Day on September 24th. It is sponsored by Sonoma SBDC, Solano Napa SBDC, and Marin SBDC. It is all online. And just for fun, I'm also going to add this just to show you something. Use the SBDC brand kit for colors and fonts. You saw that I have an SBDC kit in there. So with this, I can click go, and it's going to start going. So here come our options here. From my experience, Canva does a really poor job of keeping to the brand. So that's the one challenge about it is it's going to create some options for me. And you saw the SBDC brand, you see the logo that we have, the red, white, and blue, and these have nothing to do with that. This is the one problem that I find with it. However, what you can do is if once you find an image you like, you can click on it and you can go into Canva Editor. And here you can start playing around with, how do I change things? So I can manually change things, which is what you'll have to do if you have a free version. If you have the paid version, I can go down here and I can just start clicking colors. And there, voila, I do have my colors in place. So it's working with my brand palette and I can click till I like it. The other thing that's here that's really great is called Brand Assist. And on here, it's looking at everything. So in addition to my color palette, it's also looking at my fonts that I'm using. So it says some fonts aren't on the selected brand kit. Yep, I definitely don't have these on our brand kit. So I can select all of these and just say auto fix. If I hadn't done the colors yet either, it would have auto fixed those as well. All right, so it changed it. There's Proxima Nova, which is what our brand color is. It may not look as nice, but that's what our brand is. And I could say, well, at least I'm going to bold it or something like that. And there I've got a post. Um, is it the best post? Maybe not, but it's a way of getting started whenever you just want to get there. So again, what I did was I created the post directly in by creating Canva AI, and then I reworked it by clicking onto the Canva editor. So those are some magic the first thing that you can do. So the other thing that I can do in here that's a little bit different. This time I'm going to do something slightly different, which is you can also upload something existing. So this plus button here, I'm in the same place. I came under Canva AI, and here's the plus button, and I can add media, and I can upload something, but I can also use an existing design. And here's the sponsorship package I've been working on. It's, I believe, an 8-page document for sponsorship for the event. And I can put this in here. Um, and I can start with this. So let's try the same thing again. Create a Facebook page for call for sponsors this time. So I changed it a little bit, create a Facebook post for North Bay AI Power Day on, using the attached document. So I didn't have to provide I didn't provide any more information. Let's see what it comes up with. Let's see if it adds some additional information. And there it's going. All right, it did not do a Facebook post. It did something completely different, but it came up with, and maybe it didn't know quite what I was looking for. It came up with a whole paragraph of information, which is something I was going to demo later on. Let's try it this way. Create an image and do the add media. Oops, maybe not that one. My designs, there we go. And there it is there. Sometimes there is a little bit of figuring out what you want. And I'm still not getting what I want. I wanted to upload and it's not doing that. Okay, wait a minute. We go back into Canva AI. There we go. There's the plus button. There's my designs. And there is what I'm uploading. Using the attached document, if I hit create an image, let's try that. That didn't go. Let's see. So it's going with some other things. There we go. I've got some other stuff and it has a whole bunch of information and imported way too much information and it comes out a mess. So I use this as my first stop because this is functionality that's in here. It can be helpful if you just want to start off with a initial idea, but it's not the best way I find, of working with Canva. So they have it. I think it still has a long way to go. Again, so that's the magic design where you have it design it for you. But the second thing that I would say that starts getting really more interesting to me is going to be getting into my own document. So instead of doing that this way, here is my sponsorship document that I've created. And instead of creating it through Magic Design, I used one of their existing templates. So I created a template. I added all of my own imagery. I added some other things that I want on here. And I can still go back in here and click on my document here. Let's click on brand and make sure it has my brand stuff. And there still are, the same functionality comes up here where I can look at my brand font and my brand font isn't correct. So now I'm going to select all and it's going to auto fix. So this is all still AI. It's just a different approach and another approach that I typically use. And then I can do the same thing with the brand color. There's a few colors that are off and I'm going to click them and it's going to automatically adjust those to the brand. And so with that simple thing, I made sure I fixed what I have, and here we are. We've got all of the stuff we want. And there's my document. So let's say, for example, I want to add another page to this, though. So I've got all of this that I've created, like I said, pretty much using a template. Although I did create this, believe it or not, I created in ChatGPT, my little checklist. For the second one I want to look at is Magic Write. So you'll find this, you'll find Magic Write right inside of here. So once you're starting to write something, so if I click on text, I can find the Magic Write, right inside the document. So you can access it directly under Canva. You could have accessed it under the Magic Meet, but I'm already in a document, so now I'm clicking it there. So what I can do here is I added a page, and let's say, for example, that this document is for Sonoma SBDC and Solano SBDC, but I want to add some information, especially for, let's start off with the about the SBDCs. So I'm going to add a little thing here. Create a synopsis of Sonoma SBDC using, note this, Sonoma SBD, sorry, Sonoma Napa, that's me, SonomaSBDC.org for reference. So I actually gave it the website to use as reference. Make it 4 short paragraphs. Let's see what it comes up with. And it's going to look at that and I can directly insert that. It's longer than I wanted. So again, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. You are never done just because you did that, right? I said 4 short paragraphs. It gave me a little bit longer than I wanted to. But at least now it's pulled this in. It's generated something that I can work with, which is pretty amazing. And let's say I like this. Let's say this is exactly what I want. Let's get rid of one of these paragraphs. It's a little bit too long. And now I want to generate some more stuff. So let's this time I'm going to go over to the left and click on Magic Media. And I want to add an image this time. So I want to add with Canva, I can use the images right in here. There's some great stock photos that I could have looked at, but I want an image of Sonoma County, and I don't, and let's say they don't have something like that because probably they don't. And I'm going to put in a prompt that will help me get exactly what I want. And I just want an aerial view of Sonoma County. And I can click down under generate and let's see what comes up. So I'm making this custom, right? I'm using AI, but I'm trying to make things that are going to represent what I think. All right, does that feel like it's it? Maybe. Let's change this again. A realistic photo of an aerial view of Sonoma County. And let's generate again. So you keep going back and forth until you get exactly what you want. So this is all called text to image. It's the creating an image of directly from nothing. Ooh, that one turned out pretty well. So I might use this, and now I could start formatting this and changing this text so it spills around there. But I'm not going to get too much into that right now. The main thing I want you to realize is that some of the AI functionality in Canva allows you to create this from nothing, right? It created text and it created images. So this is a really good way of starting. But let's go now for the next demo. I want to say, what if I already have an image and I want to rework it? And I've got one right here. This is Anna Young and Mike Bassane, the directors for Sonoma SBDC and Solano Napa SBDC. And there's some wonderful functionality in here. And the first one is going to be a background remover. Again, you see the crown, so that means that this is a pro version. But look at that. It took that right away. Again, I'm going to undo so you could see it looks like there's this weird background. I know it's a window, but it looks very weird. So I just did that and I took it away. Pretty amazing, huh? Um, so, and then after that, I can also hit edit. So with my image, whoops, I can hit edit and I can decide what I want to do with this image. There's still more things I can do with it. I did a background remover just to remove it, but now I decided I do want a background. And here I can hit, describe a new background. So I can simply add it whatever I want. And let's just say I'm going to put this in a background of Sonoma County rolling hills. And let's see how this comes out. So I hit background remover. I could have just changed the background, but I'm showing you step by step how you can do it because the background remover is especially helpful. Let's say you have a product and you want to have that product isolated and you don't want the background that's sitting there. So this is a really handy tool taking away that background. Wow, there's some great pictures there, right? Some good options. It's looking a little funny to me in some ways, but but at least I could choose and say, hey, I like that one. I was playing around with some, whoops, let's skip that. But I can make things custom to however I want. I could have said, make this an office background. I could say, I did one earlier with pine trees in the background. It turned out really, really well. So I clicked on the background remover. Voila, the background is gone. And now I've created a new background. I can also do some other amazing things with this. Again, I'm sticking into edit. And this time, so Magic Edit, I'm going to go into Magic Edit. And here's my picture, what it originally looks like. Let's do something kind of fun here. And let's just, actually, let's not do this here. I'm going to do this in a different one. I'm going to do a different picture. Let's go up to this first picture. This is a little bit of a better picture in some way. And click on Edit. And for this one, I want to, let's say I want to actually change something in the photo. And in this case, I'm going to take his glasses and I'm going to make them goggles. And I'm just going to put this in here. Change glasses, red goggles, and generate. And let's see how this turns out. So Magic Edit is going to be your tool for actually changing something. So something's in the picture, but it's not quite what I want. So let's see if I can get exactly what I want. It didn't change it. It's funny, I did this before and it says not intended. Okay, so let's put do something different since it wouldn't do that. It's not a face I was changing. All I was trying to do was change the glasses, and I haven't had problems doing that in the past. Let me see if I can do it with a little bit of a smaller brush, and we'll find out if it changes it. Whoops. Actually, let's clear that. Okay. Whoops. We'll try it one more time and see if it works. But it may not. Sometimes it's AI. Sometimes it will do things, sometimes it won't. But I've got it to work before. So, it is funny because it's trying to, not allow you to change faces. So this one's not working. So let me try something different now. Um, again, still editing. Let's go to Magic Edit. I am simply going to do a magic erase this time. I don't like this light above his head, so I'm just simply going to go ahead and click that and hit erase. And what you should see is this should be able to just go away and be cleaned up so that I can do some little spot treatments on things. There we go. It still left a little bit of a halo, but it kind of is consistent with everything else, right? It looks like there's a little bit of light shining on it. So it's a really great way of just doing spots. Again, so we have magic erase. And then the other thing I mentioned, let's try it again in a different way, which is magic edit. We're just going to have to try to change something else because this time it wouldn't do the goggles. And let's just take her watch and say, change watch to gold bracelet and see if we can change this. But you can start seeing how important this is, right? As you're working with your products, as you're working with images that may be less than perfect, you have to edit things out. You have to do some changes to get them the way that you want. And it's giving me some options here. I don't think it did editing hands, still giving me a negative. All right, I'm going to go into here since it won't do that. And I'm going to do one more edit and we're going to try something completely different since it's not cooperating with me today. Which is funny because I had it cooperating with me just earlier today. So this time I'm going to go back to the same thing. I'm going to go to Magic Edit and I'm going to do this. I'm just going to put something here and I'm going to um, add a pine tree. Let's see how it does. There we go. We got some different things. It's just seeing the little edge of it. Not quite what I had in mind, but that might be because I just kind of made a big swoop on it. But we do have a little bit of edge there for the pine tree. And so I can add something. If I had maybe put it in a shape like that, it might have actually done a full pine tree in the background, which is what I could have done. So another thing that you can do with the edit, let me go back up to this first picture. I think will be a good demo for this one. And that is if we edit this picture again, there is something called, there it is, the magic grab. And it can allow me to just take a specific element. In this case, I'm going to take her and I'm going to grab. And this, you'll see how this gets to be really helpful too. So I'm waiting for it to take the person out of the scenery. I've chose her. Basically, what it's doing is isolating her. So it pulled her out of the picture. And let's say, for example, I wanted to have her over here and I wanted to get rid of this picture instead. So now I have an image of just part of whatever I chose and I can play around with it and put it wherever I want. right? I can, you know, um, whoops, let's not do that one. And let's put her over here. Whoops, no, there we go. So different things I can do with that. So magic grab, I isolated and pulled her out of that. Right. So there's a lot more. That gives you 5 different tools in of within the AI of Canva. But there's a lot more too. So I just wanted to cover some other things that might be really helpful. So first of all, one of these, I talked about Magic Write already. And I've got all this lovely text in here. And there's other things I can do with this too. I can click on it, I can take my existing text, and I can also rewrite this as well. So there's a whole bunch of different tools in here about how I might change my text, make it, there's my magic write box there, and I can, again, I can write, I can change that, I can redo that. Let's see. Here's one thing I really wanted to show you is translate. Translate, if you don't see it on this screen, you can also, sometimes I noticed it doesn't come up on the main screen. And if it does not, um, you hit under apps. That's where it is. It goes under apps, and under apps, you will find, there it is, translate. And you click translate and you just choose which language you want it to. So let's say I want to make this into Spanish. I could select text from, I can translate all the pages. This is a little bit of a long document, so I'm going to choose something else so that you don't have to sit here and wait. These are all, I still have the same document open. It Let's just choose then for this one, select text from current page, and let's just do this part because otherwise it might take too long. So as a sponsor, let's just say this. Yep, let's do this part translated. And it will translate this into Spanish. There we go. Something, we got this, and I translated these two into Spanish, and it was that quick. I could do the whole document. I just was afraid it would take too long. So all of a sudden, boom, you've got your translations into Spanish. The only thing I want to give you with a caveat of that is make sure that you have somebody who can read it and make sure that it is still um, appropriate. Even though it's a really good translator, some things sometimes can go a little bit off because it may not understand the context, right? Look at these buttons up here. They're just freestanding buttons. It may not understand the context that we're covering, that these relate to this part down here. And then one final thing, we're almost at time, that I want to show you is that there's also this resize up here. And this is a really handy tool for whenever you're going to create something different. Let me take this here. This was didn't turn out, again, this didn't turn out too great, but let's just say I want to resize this. I did this and let's make this an Instagram post. Um, just make it we'll just do a square here. And I can copy and resize, or just resize, take the same document and resize it. There, gave me another one. Boom, there it is. So I've got 2 different options. So I did my Instagram and my Facebook right into an Instagram post. So this would be how you do this transformation in one single click. So again, more powerful stuff that you can do with Canva. So that wraps up our demos. We are almost at time. So here's the tools we covered. We covered magic design, creating something from scratch. It's a good tool if you don't have any ideas and you want to figure out where you want to go with it. It will help you clarify it. We covered magic write, which was creating the text. We did a text to image, which is creating an entirely new image. And then we did magic edit. So we removed a background. We created a new background. We added something into the photo. And we also pulled isolated the person out of the image and moved them around. So there's some really amazing stuff that you can do. And then as a little bonus, we also covered the resize option for multi-use and also translation. If you found this helpful, please leave us a Google review. It really helps us keep this program going and allows other people to find our free, yes, free services. So please do that for us. Wonderful. Great seeing everybody today. And again, don't miss next week. We will cover social media, and that'll be really fun with Ed Troxel. And definitely don't miss the image double workshop coming up with Barbara Schwartz. That will get you really straight with how you're going to manage your images for, wherever you're putting them, like on your website, for example. So a real problem for many businesses. So, all right, great seeing everybody and see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.